I always had this deep, strange feeling there's something more and I don't know what it is. And it's not in words, it's a feeling. It's a craving from the inside, from the soul, from survival. But it got into me like a flash. And I had to go on this path to show the world that we don't need to be powerless in the face of death, in the face of darkness, depression, fear, trauma, PTSD, bipolar, schizophrenia. No, this was too much. This was the emotion torn in my heart to be healed, not only to become aware how to do that and to take away the darkness for those to come. That was my journey.
Come on, it's sunny. Let's get in while it's sunny.
Here we go. Asher, Mimi, Mikkel, and I are preparing to do 5 rounds of Wim Hof breathing, alkalizing our blood before we take this cold dip. Okay, are you guys ready to start the rounds? Round 1. 30 breaths. Go.
In, out. In, out. In, out. Into the belly, into the chest, and let go. Like a wave. Make it circular. Fully in and letting go. Just keep on going. No pause between inhalation and exhalation. Fully in and letting go. Just keep on going. 1 minute breath hold from now on. Be in this moment. Let the body do what the body is capable of doing. Be aware of your heartbeat. Slow it down and just be in this moment. Let that relaxation spread down to your toes. Okay, recovery breath in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round number 2. Back into that rhythm. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. In, out. In, out. In, out. Into the belly, into the chest, and let go. Like a wave. Make it circular. Fully in and letting go. Just keep on going. No pause between inhalation and exhalation. In with peace, out with stress. Ten more. Fully in, let it go. Nice, deep, circular breaths. 5 more. Let's give it all we got. Last one. Fully in.
It'll be cold when you get out and swim. Yeah. Oh, I feel my stomach and my core really tightening up. Relax into it, feels really good.
So right here I said that my stomach and my core started to tighten up, but the moment that I breathed and relaxed into it, it became a pleasurable feeling. I make the suggestion to Asher and Mimi to go ahead and get a little bit of movement in. While they're breathing, adding that movement will allow for that oxygen to continue flowing through the body.
How does it feel deep before your breath? Feeling warmer now. Yeah.
Probably depending on my area.
Can you relax into it now? Taking a slow deep breath, and we need to keep going.
So I begin to wonder through this if Asher, Mimi, and I do not know how to count our breaths and didn't complete 5 rounds, or if Mikkel just wants to do more than 5 rounds.
My hands are very warm. My legs are warm. I still have the head high. Yeah, you did. As you go shivering, and you're shivering, go back to that breath exercise, right? And be total control. There's like little floaty mosses and they look like tadpoles. My hands are vibrating.
We are in command of our own alchemy. Now, just breathe, motherfuckers. Okay.
We've all made it in. At this point, we spend some time discussing how each of us feel, what sensations we're feeling in our bodies, and just kind of discussing what's going on for us with this experience now that we've all entered the cold water after doing our rounds of Wim Hof breathing.
Your body knows how to do it, but you want to make sure you've got control of your breath all the time. If you feel like you've had enough or it's getting too much, go ahead and stop. My muscles feel so like look at my hands. Can you see?
Yeah.
They're very tight right now.
You feel shivering?
I'm not shivering. I just like my tongue, like I'm all like.
So at this point, Mikkel comes in and notices and points out that her hands are cramping up quite a bit. They looked like the character from Scary Movie, if you've ever seen that. It was quite hilarious.
Take my hand! Ah! Come on! You're gonna fall unless you take my hand!
No, give me your other hand!
Oh, my other hand isn't strong enough! You take my little hand!
No! Get it away from me!
Take it! Take mine!
I couldn't help but add that. Mikkel and I later found that that was due to dehydration. Not drinking enough water before we performed this exercise and getting into the cold water caused her hands to cramp. Meanwhile, Mimi was good and hydrated and peed in the water, so that's why we were warm. It had nothing to do with the breathing. Thanks, Mimi. Here, Asher makes the comment, I feel high.
High on your own supply.
When we do this type of breath work, we access and tap into our autonomic nervous system, gaining full control over the hormones cortisol and adrenaline, aka stress. This allows more room in the brain for our hormones like dopamine and serotonin. Those are the feel-good hormones. So it absolutely makes sense to have a high feeling when doing this type of work.
I got it. Look at all the buttons on that thing. I'm gonna have such a grip on it.
I fine now?
Okay, go like this and stretch all the way out. Do you feel that like,
How do you feel?
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You gonna put your neck in? Get down to your neck, see how it feels.
That's.
Come on. There you go, there
I
you go.
just relayed that cold feeling of getting in.
you gotta do it all at once?
How far down can you go?
Oh, actually, that did cold anything. You're right. You're right. It's good. It feels good. Feel my body loosening up. My hands aren't like cramped anymore. Starting to not really feel cold anymore.
There you go.
Ooh, I'm looking forward to laying out the rocks.
It's pretty clear in here. It's pretty deep right here.
It is deep.
I gotta go all the way around the hill. Can't have it all in front of me. Oh my god, it's vibrating my head. It feels so good. So good. Come here.
You look very vibrant right now. Yeah.
From you, your eyes are beaming. You have a lot of color in your skin.
Your lips aren't ruffled.
Seriously.
Seriously. They're not.
I can't help but laugh at myself during this, but the reason for this odd moment of my face in the camera, mouth gaping open, is that me and Mikkel spent some time noticing and pointing out to each other how vibrant we looked, our color, her eyes were very bright, you know, just alive, and she mentioned that my lips were not purple. My lips not being purple is a big deal. I'll explain why.
My lips warm.
My lips are normally purple. Like, see my scar? When I'm cold, and this isn't just in water, poor blood circulation, my lips are bright purple, my face is purple, and right now it's not. So like that's a huge sign to me that I really alkalized my blood in order to get my lips. Yeah, like that feels... This water is extremely cold. In case y'all didn't get that. See my scar? My lips are normally that color, but Mikkel said they're not, and that's probably the first time in my life that I've never seen my lips when I'm cold be bright purple. So I'm pretty stoked. I just want to touch on this a little bit more because, as I mentioned, this is an issue I have struggled with or noticed my entire life and never really known what was going on. As it turns out, I have cyanosis, or less fancy term, blue skin. It's a lack of oxygen to my extremities, so I could be walking in a grocery store, cold aisle, not even that cold, and my lips will be bright purple. So this moment was a moment of triumph for me to understand that through this deep breathing technique, I was able to keep oxygen to my lips. Set this over here. Yeah, it's just that. Do you want to jump in with me? From right there? No? Do you want to go the other one and jump in? Alright. I'll be careful.
Did you? I know. What's right here?
Right.
You should do it. Very deep. I can't even see her. Oh my god. Dude, that is deep. Did you touch it? No. You did it? I couldn't even see.
Extremely deep. Oh my god.
I couldn't even see what.
My head. Wow. Way colder. I can feel my brain.
Feel my brain.
So here we start joking and laughing about the comment I made saying I can feel my brain, something that both Mimi and Mikkel related to. I believed it was me going deeper and the pressure combined with that colder temperature that had me feeling like pins and needles. I've never experienced acupuncture, but I imagine that is a pretty close feeling to it. Our brains were buzzing and tingling, a kind of light, airy spaciousness, yet feeling entirely heavy at the same time. It made little sense to us as we sat there trying to describe the experience we were all sharing. Lo and behold, what we were experiencing was an increased production of beta endorphins, or those feel-good molecules that I mentioned earlier. Another being norepinephrine. This hormone works to calm us down. It also affects our mood, our vigilance, our focus, and our attention, which makes perfect sense to me now with the type of stimulation we felt in our brains.
Don't do spice.
Don't do spice!
Do drugs. Do this drug.
We did not do spice. We just did the drug of our breath. Don't do spice. All right, Mimi, I'm going to ask you about your experience, how your body felt throughout the breathing, describe your sensations.
So at first I was getting like a lot of social anxiety. There were a lot of people around, so I was like, I've just got to get started or I'm never going to do this. So during the breathing, of course, like at first I started to feel lightheaded, and then I started to get more to that airy feeling, like Alicia was describing, taking off but like contained. And And then when it was done, it was just felt like that was like that feeling through my whole body. And just got into the water.
When did you know you were ready to get in? How did you feel?
Like after breathing? Like immediately. Like I didn't wait at all. And I just like felt pulled in. I guess it's just like get in.
Yeah.
Or don't.
Yeah. And you did your 5 rounds of breathing?
Yeah.
Yeah. After your 5th round, could you tell a difference from your 1st to your 3rd to your 5th round?
Yeah, so it just became more like amplified. Like the first round, I felt lightheaded. The second round, it feels like more of my body and more contained, not just like lightheaded, but like, ooh, if this was
Yeah. Did you have any visuals behind your eyelids?
No, often I was actually opening my eyes, checking on
You had your eyes
and,
open?
like, yeah.
Kind
And
of
then
aware.
sometimes I would close them and it would be like really bright, but I didn't really pay attention a whole lot to that, to be honest.
Okay.
The water. Oh.
What
I
about
forgot.
the water?
Shit. Feels good.
It feels good. I mean,
Forgot
it's
what I was
beautiful.
gonna say. Oh yeah, like at first I wanted to like give up multiple times because it was like I was shivering and I was like, oh,
Yeah,
not gonna last long in this. But then like I finally made it to a part where it just like started warming up in my core and then started emanating out, and then it just started filled real good.
And you continued that deep breathing too.
Yeah,
You were
yeah, I did. Yeah.
still breathing like that. Yeah. Now, how do you feel? Having been in it, having put in your head in, having come out and had your body in this cold wind, and because it's
Feels
when
so
it's
good. I
kind
feel
of windy.
high. And anytime my awareness kind of comes off of my body, I start to shiver again. But so anytime I bring
I
it
just
back,
noticed that as soon as you
Yeah.
said that in me.
Yeah.
I mean, you mentioned you were like, oh, I asked you if you were cold, and you said my fingertips and my toes, and then what
Yeah.
happened when you?
But then when I bring my awareness to them, they warm up. And I bring myself back to my breathing, just warm right up.
So multiple things you can hold on to. My first round, it feels like inhaling helium. Very lightheaded. Almost kind of lightheaded to the point where like my vision goes a little blurry. It goes from that into my fingertips. Now I'm getting shivery. It's like, oh. Second round, moving in of that heavy breathing, and then at the end of the second round, 30 breaths. I hold in, I inhale, and I hold that for as long as I can. And I'm holding that, and I could feel my shoulders really start to release. I closed my eyes, and I saw spirals of rainbow colors. I mean, wow.
Oh, it's an eagle.
Wow.
Wow. Okay, sorry.
Wow, no, don't be sorry. Oh man, I don't know, just by 5th round it went from tingly hands and tingly feet to my entire body pulsing, and I was trying to explain it, it's like an isolated, it's like I feel my fingertips tingling, but then that just all comes into my whole body. It's not like my whole body's tingling. It is a very hard thing to explain. But being in the water instantly is like just, I don't feel cold, I feel like pins and needles. But it doesn't feel cold. And then even being out now, like I'm starting to shiver, but it's still like I wouldn't describe the feeling of my body right now as like cold. Internally, I'm on fire. I feel incredible. Oh. Look at them laying out.
Ooh, you're standing up.
Was it?
And silence, the awareness deep inside, which we have lost. Silence is powerful. Silence is dense. It's what I found there. I just wanted to feel good. I just wanted to feel connected.